Hi everyone, I just wanted to show my face. I don't want to remain a faceless YouTuber, make it some big deal if I show my face. I know I've already obviously used it for a thumbnail before, but yeah, hopefully one day I can figure out how to consistently show my face and also talk about what I'm talking about in the videos. And I don't really have much to say. Hope you enjoy the video. Today, we'll be talking about the Oscar Best Picture nominees for 2026. Now, I'm not someone who commonly cares or watches the Oscars and blah, 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 but I was told / recommended by my friend to check these movies out because there's no way I would regret watching them. And I'm not gonna lie, partway through watching the rest of them, I was actually starting to regret it. And I was like, oh my goodness, is this really just gonna be a complete waste of my time? That being said, there was some light at the end of the tunnel. This isn't my ranking. This is, I stole this from my friend because I was too lazy to make my own. And how they rated it. But we'll go through these one by one and then I'll rank them. We'll just start from the bottom, I suppose, of their rankings. So for me, F1 was whatever is very whatever movie. Which I probably should actually skip over this actually because I already talked about F1. But like I said, it's just a kind of whatever movie. It did make me mad at first when I was watching it because I know very little. I know enough about F1 to know that they were basically just cheating and they would have been fine and there's no way they would have got away with what they did. But, that being said, it wasn't like the worst thing I ever watched. I'm just honestly kind of surprised they got a Best Picture nomination. But, you know, like I said, that's why I really don't care that much about what's been nominated for this, that, and the other. Train Dreams. Train Dreams was... I didn't like Train Dreams. I didn't like Train Dreams at all. The only thing I liked was the cinematography and some of the scenes and stuff and how it was set. The soundtrack was pretty good. And I say that, but I really only mean I saved one song from it, but I assume the rest of it was also good. It's just I only really paid attention to that one song because they played it a lot. It's like Memories or Visions of Gladys or something like that. I think it's Visions of Gladys. That song sounds really nice, and they played that shit, I feel like, a lot, and I really loved it. I can't really say much because there's not really anything to say. Movie didn't really do anything for me. I mean, he did a fine performance, but he's just playing like a boring old grief-stricken guy, so I didn't really care. He wasn't doing anything crazy in this movie. I did really like, spoilers, there's gonna be spoilers in this video, obviously. I did like when he talked about, not when he talked about, after his family died, which that was also a thing I didn't like because they kind of spoiled that anyway. If you just even read the most basic, even if you didn't read the description of the movie, he basically says, the narrator, he's like, oh, well, he didn't know this was going to be the happiest time in his life. I'm like, oh, so his family's dead. I'm like, okay, they're dead. They're basically dead now. Which you probably already assumed anyway if you read the description of the movie. He's like, oh, he goes through loss and blah, 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 blah. And also it cuts between him just being alone on the train. It's very whatever. I might check out the book. It's a very short book. I do kind of want to check it out. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the narrator either. He just kind of tells you everything that's happening. What's this guy going through? What's he thinking? This, that, and the other. It's it gets to a point where it's okay, are you just going to tell me everything he's thinking and feeling? Or are we going to actually just be able to interpret it and see it? I feel like I probably would have liked it a lot more if he didn't, if the narrator wasn't saying something every 10 to 15 minutes. Let me watch the movie. Bugonia, I don't know how you say it. It was also just okay. I do think the performances were good. I mostly mean Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, but the other guy did good too. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. It's just kind of boring for the most part. It was interesting watching them train up to kidnap this woman, and then also the final act was interesting. It was very tense in a way, and I kind of even I couldn't tell exactly. I'm sure somebody would be like, oh, well, I knew she was an alien the whole time, or oh, it's based off this, that, and okay, I didn't watch the original movie. I put it on my watch list, but I of course want to say, oh, I had a feeling, but I never really knew. Like I I'm sure it was probably intended to be this way. Like, oh, she starts seeing all this like papers and stuff, and she starts acting like, oh, she knows this, and like really playing the part of the alien. So I feel like that's how they meant for it to be, which I did like. Like, oh, you couldn't tell if she knew or if she actually was one, or if she was just playing the part of the angry alien queen. Um, Good movie though. Good movie. Not good. It was okay. I won't say, oh, I regret watching that one. It was just like fine. I don't know if it was that good. Hamnet. I was actually very excited to see Hamnet, not knowing anything about what it was about. Just because I saw the trailer and I was like, whoa, this looks awesome. It has something to do with Hamlet. I don't know anything about Hamlet, but I was like, whoa, I gotta check that out. Like, I don't know why. I just really wanted to check it out. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go see it in theaters. I like the moment I kind of passed for me. But yeah, I don't really have much to say. I want to say, I could be getting the names wrong. I want to say Paul Mescal and Jessie Buckley. If I said that, if that's not her name, I will definitely correct it. But they both did a great job. The kids also honestly did a pretty decent job, and I mostly mean Hamnet. I liked his little performance. That shit got to my heart. I gave it like 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars at first, but then I changed it to 3.5. But I still very much enjoyed Hamnet. Lots of good stuff going on there. That one touched me. That one touched me in a way. Marty Supreme. All the Timothy Chalamet slander going around right now. Not even slander, the smear campaign, that's what they call it. The smear campaign, because he hates the opera. He is dating one of the Jenners, whichever one. I want to say Kylie, but I don't actually know. Don't ask me because I could not tell any of them apart. I don't give a flying flamingo. I thought that I thought that movie was awesome. And also, it'd be really funny if he still won an Oscar after all that. It'd be insanely hilarious. Like, I really do hope it happens because I think it'd be very funny. One Bell After Another. I don't like that movie. I will say, I was looking at the nominees and stuff. I was very surprised Chase Infinity was not nominated, because if she was nominated, like on the little, I did the little ballot thing where you can put what you would have voted for, if you were like whatever Oscar. I was like, where's Chase Infinity? Why is she not on here? Because low key, actually high key, she was the best part of that movie for me. Everything she was doing was a lot more interesting than like anything else going on in that movie. Secret Agents. No, I actually didn't like Secret Agent at all. I don't. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I'm not Brazilian enough. Maybe I'm not old enough. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't care. It was boring as hell. And that one actually made me mad. I was actually extremely mad. As I kept watching that movie. I was like, I didn't get it. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. It's a very whatever movie. And I don't see why people think, I mean, you never know, anything can happen. I don't see why people think he'll win an Oscar for this. Because he is basically just playing a boring ass guy. He's just playing a boring guy, just like the guy in Train Dreams. He's just playing a regular ass boring guy. Like, anybody could have did that. Oh, what? Is it because he has the beard in one time period, and then he has the long hair, and then he also plays his son later with the short hair? Oh wow! Like, who cares, bro? It wasn't anything worth anything. To me, which is my opinion. It's opinion based. Frankenstein. Frankenstein was not bad. It only made me mad because the book, and I hate to be that guy. The book. But the only thing I didn't like that was different from the book was that they made, the creature too nice, too like friendly and benevolent. Like, he literally didn't do shit to anybody who didn't like shoot at him, pretty much. So it's like, well, obviously, Oscar Isaac is the bad guy. You know, Frankenstein, he's the bad guy. How could he be so mean to this like innocent, pure little creature who just, you know, he just wanted to learn, da, 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 like, you know, Frankenstein just did it the wrong way, and da da da. Like, I actually liked a good bit of the stuff they changed. Because obviously in the movie, he spent time with Masha. Like, you know, I mean, obviously he ran out of patience really fast, but he tried. You know, he was like so excited that he brought this thing to life. He's like showing it the sun and like giving him a haircut, and like he was trying to teach him some stuff. He just obviously was not patient enough for that. In the book, he sees that monster come to life after he thought he failed or something, I'm pretty sure, and he immediately leaves. He runs away like scared, terrified, blah blah blah. Which is also, I'm glad they changed that, because I feel like they know that Frankenstein is really not that horrible, hideous looking in this movie. He's like, I mean, come on, it's Jacob Elordi. So I like that he wasn't like, terrified of his own creation and like how it looks and blah blah blah. And he's just like frustrated because he can't teach it anything, and he's also frustrated that it learned from you know, the wife of the his brother, I believe, or his friend, I can't remember. You know, Mia Goth's character, because she was really sweet and nice to the creature, and he learned her name. Frankenstein was so mad and like blah blah. Like, I liked all of that. I liked how mad he got, and he was like, "Man, I have to blow this whole place up." He like, even though he like hesitates at the last thing, he's like, "Wait, oh man, I left my little guy down there that I created," and then he like felt bad, even though he like obviously it was too late at that point. But yeah. I also really liked that the creature spent a lot of time with the old man, the blind old man, because in the book he's there for like 2 seconds telling his little story, and then the family comes back and they're like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Get away from my grandpa!" Like, I really liked how he spent all this time with him, and obviously, you know, I knew it was gonna end up bad. Just for the wolves to get to him and all this stuff. Like, I liked that. I liked those changes. I liked that, you know, this whatever Frankenstein's quote unquote love interest wasn't like actually like that all over him and stuff. Like, she had her own stuff going on, and she kind of understood the kind of guy he was, and was kind of like, you know, like whatever about him. In the book, she's like, "Oh, Frankenstein, like, oh my gosh, like, do you hate me? Like, don't you like me? I thought you wanted to marry me," and like, it's whatever. But yeah, plenty of good changes. Literally, the only reason I didn't like it that much is because, and also I liked some of the shots and stuff and how the movie was shot. Cinematography, as I say. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like was the creature being too nice. Too nice, too baby, too whatever. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, he's just Pookie, he's just baby." And he is. And honestly, it worked for the movie. It just made me mad because I'm like, well, there's no conflict here. Like, what's the conflict? Is it because Frankenstein freaking sucks? Like, but yeah. Moving on, Sinners. Sinners is a good movie. I like Sinners. I actually upped the ranking of Sinners just because I was annoyed watching so many of those other movies that I didn't really like or thought were mid or whatever. So I bumped that up to 4 stars, at least on Letterboxd. I'll probably go through like number rankings later. I don't really have much to say about Sinners. It's just a good movie. It's a solid movie. And I'm not gonna. I shouldn't really be talking that much about all these other categories and stuff people are nominated for. But I do think Jacob Elordi did an amazing job in Frankenstein. I forgot to say that. He did an amazing job as the creature. And Oscar Isaac also did a pretty good job. Sinners. I don't have anything to say about Sinners. I just liked it. I'm sorry. I don't really have much else to say. I could probably say the same about Sentimental Value. I do like it. It was definitely one of the better movies, I would say. Everybody did a great job. And it had some really good, powerful scenes. I really don't have much to say about either of those two, but I did like them both quite thoroughly. I also gave Sentimental Value. Actually, no, I think I kept that at 3.5 stars off rip. But yeah. So if I was to rank these, I would obviously have to put Marty Supreme at the top. I'd put Sinners just below that. And I would say Hamnet is definitely, I don't know if it's better or worse than Sentimental. I like them pretty much about the same. I would put, and this might not make sense. All right, putting the F1 movie below Frankenstein. But it's just such a like whatever movie. Like Frankenstein did probably have more that I enjoyed about it than F1 did. It's just F1 also didn't like, I don't know. It's just like an F1 movie. Like I mean, you know, I don't really know what to say about it. It's just like a whatever. Like I'm sorry, but a 3 star is more like a 5 or 6 to me. And I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember shit about that movie other than like you know, the general. I'm not gonna sit and act like I remember the F1 plot or like it was all that amazing or anything. Frankenstein had a lot more good stuff going for it than the F1 movie. F1 was also just like whatever. Like Frankenstein only really offended me because of the creature, and it made me mad. Like I said, F1 was just whatever. I wanted to mention at this point that I put Frankenstein above the F1 movie because I can understand a lot more why people like Frankenstein, especially if you haven't read the book. If I hadn't read the book, I probably love that movie. I watched it with my friend; she loved it. So obviously, I don't know anything about the book. I feel like it is leaps above the F1 movie, probably. Just and like if you don't have that bias in the back of your mind. So I can totally understand why, you know, people like it, why it's so highly liked. But back to the video. Secret Agent. Never thought, you know, I'd have to put something lower than One Battle After Another. As much as I hated that movie, but Secret Agent, Chain Dreams, Buns. Did not like those at all. I would definitely put Begonia above. Actually, no, because Chase Infinity was more interesting to watch. Just in her part in One Battle After Another, she was honestly more interesting to watch than most of Begonia. But I don't know. Begonia did have some really nice shots, and like I like the little title cards for the lunar the lunar lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, whatever. I really liked that. And I liked the visualization with his mother and all that stuff. It was actually really good looking. I don't know. But for now, actually, I think I will put it above One Battle After Another. Simply because, you know, all that stuff. Like, I feel like the only thing I really liked about One Battle After Another was all of the funny Christmas Adventures Club and Chase Infinity. But yeah, I would say that's my ranking. Don't have much else to say. Yeah, I'm done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I can make some more videos soon. I've just been so busy and I haven't found the time really to make stuff. I do have ideas and things I want to do. I also want to get like an actual camera so I can record myself more and not just like, you know, talk on this screen. I would like it a lot better if I could figure out how to record like and record myself like separately. I don't really know how that stuff works, but I'm figuring out eventually. Trust. You know, I'm trying to be like those other well, you know, I think of people like Gabby Bell because, you know, she obviously will sit there and talk like in her chair and stuff, but also cuts to like what she's talking about and stuff, but you can still hear her like in the background like consistently like talking or whatever. And I don't know how people do that, but I'm gonna figure it out eventually. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.
I don't give a fuck! I don't care about fucking homeless people!